Hey, have you ever wanted to do an image reveal on hovering on a button like this? In this video, I'm going to show you how. All right, so I'm going to get rid of the CSS over here. And I think it's that one. And then we'll start on that. I'll put the button back. So you actually, this is how it looks. Here is the HTML for making this. So you have a div that wraps an image, and then you have a span with the text, and then you have the close div. It's kind of a weird way of doing the HTML, but that's it right there. Okay, so first of all, how do we do this? So we want the image to be invisible with the button showing, and then when you hover over this button, it's going to show the image. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we're going to create a style for the static button, or I mean image. So image in its like static state or regular state. All right, so we're going to open up some CSS and we'll do let's try the first thing we're going to do is display none. Oops. Okay, display none. And then image is gone, right? And then let's copy this. And let's do a hover. So it's actually going to be hovering over the test button. And when you hover over the test button, what we're saying is when I hover, this is a pseudo class of this. So when I hover over this, do this. If you're interested in pseudo class, I mean, there's a bunch. So there's like hover, there's active, focus, focus within. There's several that you can do that do different things. So like if I click on something or whatever it may be, and you can do that all with CSS. Also, JavaScript has some really good capability when you're doing stuff like that as well. Okay, so let's do the first. This is like the first example. So when I hover over test button, the image is going to display block. Display none is what it's doing right now, where it's not displaying. And then we're going to have a display block. So I hover over this, but it's kind of weird. It's like a jump. I guess it's kind of cool. It's like a reveal. It's revealing. All right, so let's take that off. We're going to take display none off, and let's try the next one. Let's do visibility hidden, and then so that's like the second option, visibility hidden. And you see how with visibility hidden, it keeps the image there, kind of like the image is still there, it's just hidden. With display none, it totally gets rid of it. So, and then when you hover, it's going to do visibility visible. So I hover over this and it shows it. Do you see how this button is jumping too? It's because the image is, it's kind of weird. It's because the image is display inline, not display block. So it's like next to it and then it moves. In order to fix that, I can do display block here. And then see the button doesn't change anymore, or the button doesn't move. Here, I'll show you what I was talking about. It was just like a little weird jump. Sometimes you get that from CSS, and it's typically something like the display condition. Inline can really mess stuff up. Like span, if I want it to display block, I have to say display block. Because by standard or default, it's inline. So it can cause some problems. Because typically you'd use span within some other text to show it in line. Like if you wanted to highlight some specific text or something within a sentence, you could put a span around it, and it's display in line, so it's not on like a new line. Display block will put it on a new line. Okay, so let's put that back. And again, I'm doing Control// to comment. With most code editors, you're going to be able to do this. And if you're interested, I'm actually using Elementor for this. I think it's a pretty good way of prototyping. You can do your CSS, your HTML, and test it all out. It's really cool prototyping environment. It's kind of like there used to be a thing called Dreamweaver, and it's kind of like that. Okay, so visibility hidden. Let's put that back. We'll do visible, and you don't have to have these in here. Like if I don't have visibility visible, it'll still be visible. You don't have to declare that. Display block, I would declare it on an image if I want it to be a block instead of inline. Okay, so let's do our next one. It's gonna be this one's pretty standard. We really don't have to. Let's just do it. Okay, so opacity 0 does something really similar to visibility. It's like almost the same thing. One thing with opacity is you can add a transition. I don't know if you can add a transition on visibility, but I know with opacity I can add a transition. See how it snaps when I do this? It's just like pop, pop. I can add a transition, like let's do a 300 ms, that's milliseconds. So then it does like a slow reveal. I typically add, I'll just do that. You don't even have to do anything else. You just have to put the time. You could do ease in, ease out. There's a lot of different things with transitions. I could do a full video on that. Actually, a few segment video. Okay, so that's opacity. Let's put that back to 1, just so it's showing. And then let's try our next one. And we could still use the transition for this. So let's do transform. This is pretty cool. And we're gonna actually use this. So transform. Let's do transform Y and then 0 or oops. It's transform, sorry, translate. They don't even have, okay, translate Y, and you just put that next to it. It doesn't have to be capitalized, but you can. And then 100 pixels. So that makes it 100 pixels down. You can make it 1,000 pixels down. Oops, that's 100. 1,000, and then it's like out of the thing. And then I can copy this. So translate will move things from where they are from one spot to another. Okay, so let's do that, and then we'll make this 0. So a bunch of zeros. So that's kind of cool. And then if I do opacity, I mean, we're not going to do 1,000. We'll do like, it's like here. Let's do. Okay, so for sake of time, I'm not going to mess with this, but so translate Y 100, and then we're going to make this opacity 0. So that was just a quick example of how you could do some like hover effects when I hover over this to show something else. Cool. So yeah, thanks for watching this. If you like CSS tutorials and want to learn web development, please return back to the channel. And I'll also put the HTML inside the description. I could put some of the CSS in there too, but I think CSS, just playing around with it, you're gonna learn a lot from doing that. Just make little projects and try and do stuff. Okay, thanks for watching.